Good morning, you glorious gamers, and holy crap, Nintendo did it again. Another super secret ninja drop, and it was today, earlier this morning, that we got a new trailer for the all-new Kirby game. There are power-ups, an open world, new companions, a co-op mode, and so much more, including a release date. Okay, I gotta contain myself. It's very exciting. So as always, super smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, all that kind of stuff like that, and whoosh, let's just move on, because I want to talk about Kirby. Let's get into it. So we already knew that this game was going to be the biggest, most massive Kirby experience to date. And of course, the newest trailer, it looks like they're going to deliver on that promise, especially considering I'm quoting this to be called Kirby Odyssey. The similarities are abundant between Kirby and Mario, and it's not really surprising that Nintendo wants to take their pink cute little puffball and take it down a much greater level and bring it to a new scope. Now, first thing, we're going to talk about what makes Kirby Kirby, then we'll do a little more of a deep dive into the similarities between that and Odyssey, and we'll sprinkle in a few other little details that we found out because of the latest trailer and also the screenshots that Nintendo themselves provided us. So what makes Kirby Kirby? That's the good old copy abilities. Can't be a Kirby game without the ability to copy some of your opponent's powers and use them to fight evil. And a lot of the classics are back. There is the tornado ability, there's the ability to have a hammer, swing that around, there's Fire Kirby, and of course there is the inspired by Link sword power-up. Now I'm sure there's going to be a ton more abilities that they're not going to show us in the trailer because they only have so much time and they want to keep some surprises, but there are a few that I have never seen before that they did show us in the trailer. So starting off, we get this really cool drill-like ability. Seemingly Kirby turns into this kind of digging thing and he'll go underground, pop up from underneath his enemies to deal damage, and honestly it kind of reminds me of the Underminer from The Incredibles. Anyway, I digress. It looks like a cool power-up. They also really highlighted Kirby with this new musket ability. There he is kind of floating around and shooting projectiles from this musket style pistol looking thing. He's shooting beams and other projectiles, which, I mean, it could be cool. It doesn't seem anything overly revolutionary, but what is nice is seeing that there are all these abilities that give you a whole bunch of different game strategies, from close range or something so overpowered like one of these in the trailer here. And honestly, it's just really cool to see that there's going to be an abundance of strategy when it comes to the abilities themselves. Now, in the title, they did say that it was Kirby's copy abilities and co-op, and even though the trailer didn't give us a ton of information about the cooperative experience, the screenshots did provide us with a little more information. So in co-op, player 2 is going to take control over a Waddle Dee, and it looks like a ninja-inspired character. It's really cool. They have a staff, and they're able to throw it, use it as a projectile, or spin it above their head and hover as they launch some abilities down, and it really just seems like you're going to be able to provide a lot of cover fire when needed. Now, a brief glimpse at how co-op looks, it kind of reminds me of how you would control Luigi in Luigi's Mansion 3. Now, this to me says that the second player is definitely more of a support role. Instead of having the same abilities and attributes that the main character would be, they give them a limited moveset. Now, when games usually do this, kind of like how you could be Cappy in Mario Odyssey, the intention is clear that this is supposed to be a solo player campaign. However, it is nice if you have parents or friends who maybe aren't really into video games as much, but they kind of want to try it out or give a helping hand while they're playing with someone. And it is nice when it comes to that kind of experience. Now, before we deep dive into the big similarities between Kirby's Forgotten Land and Mario Odyssey, let's talk about the new companion character, which seems like it's going to be the equivalent of Kirby's new Navi. So they introduced a bluish turquoise, absolutely adorable floating creature called Alphalin. Now, this is clearly inspired by Dumbo with the giant ears. It's kind of like an elephant, and let's get real, elephant is like in the name. Elephant, like Alphalin, elephant. Anyway, whatever. Now, throughout the trailer, you see her floating beside Kirby as he makes his way through all these locations, and the screenshot also shows us that Kirby's new buddy is trapped in a gold cage. Now, most likely it means that at the beginning of the game, Kirby is gonna rescue her from the clutches of evil, hence why she would decide to join you in your quest to free the other captive Waddle Dees. Now, whether you're for companion characters or not, honestly, this art style looks absolutely adorable. She fits right into the Kirby universe, and I mean, come on, how could you say no to that face? Alright, so I've called this the Kirby Odyssey, so let's go over a side-by-side comparison of some of the things that they clearly took inspiration from Odyssey to make it more of this Mario grand open world adventure. So first of all is the level structure. Now in Mario Odyssey we had massive sandboxes, but at the end of the day it was still just going level to level. Unlike Breath of the Wild, which was just one giant open map, Mario Odyssey really made sure that it was still traditional linear level by level by level. So I do believe, based on the trailer, that Kirby is going to do something similar, and you're probably going to do this via a warp star. Now, when Mario in Odyssey would travel from location to location, he would go aboard his moon-powered Odyssey spaceship, and we can see clearly that in some of these locations there is a central warp star, which makes it seem pretty obvious that it's going to be a transport area to get you to the other locations. Along those lines, we also get a glimpse of Kirby riding above the great landscape on one of these warp stars, where you can see some of the locations and levels previously shown, but they're very, very small compared to when Kirby is on the ground. So really it just proves that it's going to be this kind of level structure. Now secondly, we notice that there are collectibles and a progression MacGuffin when it comes to the Waddle Dees. Now if you look side by side again, it shows crazy similarities to how in Odyssey there were triple moons as a reward for finishing a main story mission against Kirby's 3 friends being trapped in a cage. Now, some of you might think it's crazy or just speculation, but my theory is supported by some more evidence later on during the trailer. Right after we see Kirby finding more captives, they cut directly to them rejoicing in celebration in an animation very similar to how when you would do something with Cappy, him and Mario would spin around, high five, and go Yahoo! So I'm just saying that, yeah, I think this is what's gonna happen. It seems more likely, and it worked for Mario Odyssey, why not work for Kirby? Now the final comparison is boss battles, and really this isn't a Mario Odyssey thing. Boss battles have been around forever, but just by watching the trailer, it really has the same flavor. Meaning that if you go along and complete story objectives at the end of each level, you're gonna have a boss encounter, you're gonna have to take out this bigger enemy to rescue 3 or 1, but probably 3 if it's like Odyssey, Waddle Dees to unlock the next level and push the narrative progression forward. So Nintendo has done it again, where they launch a trailer and we get the game literally within a few months, and I really love that about them. And that's right, this game is coming to us in March on the 25th. And I love how Nintendo does this. They give us a small release window. Now, obviously, this is the second trailer, but it is refreshing to see a gaming company promote an upcoming game that is actually on the horizon. And I understand some of these massive AAA games, they take longer, they're gonna get delayed, and it happens. But I'm kind of getting sick and tired of them releasing a trailer and then all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, it comes out in 2 years. That's just getting really old to me. But Nintendo likes to announce a game, they show us a trailer or two, and then within a year, for the most part, except for Breath of the Wild and obviously a few others, you get the game, and I really, really appreciate it when it comes to how they launch their titles. Alright, so that was a lot. Let me know what you guys think about the breakdown. Who's pumped for Kirby? I know I am. And let me know in the comments down below what your favorite part of this game is going to be. Now, as always, we will respond to every comment that is left once a week on our TikTok, so don't forget to join us there. I'll put a link down in the description below. So with that being said, my friends, stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you online.